Kobe, Bean, Bryant, the Black Mamba, the assassin, whatever it is you want to call him, how good was he? Many call him the greatest Laker ever. But in this video, we're going to get right into it. But before we go ahead and do that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like for more content. So the first things first, how good was he? Let's just go ahead and get into the counting numbers and the stats. On the left side, you have his season stats. On the right side, you have his playoff stats. And at face value, they're pretty great. 25 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1.4 steals. In the playoffs, most of these numbers are elevated. 25.6. Field goal percentage hovered around 45 for his career. And these are pretty solid numbers. But the thing is, there's no context behind them. And what I'm about to show you guys is his prime stats. This is his stats throughout his career. Look at the screen now. These are his prime years from the year 2000 to the year 2013. So from the moment he became a bona fide star in the league until the year right before he started having injuries. On the right side, look at this, guys. 27.8 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 5.2 assists, 45% shooting from the field. And in the playoffs, they damn near mirror each other. So this is a better showing, in my opinion, of what he was really able to do. This is a better capture of what Kobe Bryant truly was. Now let's get into the things he was able to accomplish, his awards, his accolades. He's a 5-time NBA champion, which is something that people really overlook, as if you don't play the game to win. Doesn't really make any sense to me. He's a 2-time final MVP, a 1-time regular season MVP, 15 All-NBA selections, which is among the most of all time. 11 of those were first team All-NBA, which really speaks to the longevity of Kobe Bryant's career. He was a 12-time All-Defensive Team selection, which really speaks to the fact that he was always a great, consistent defender for 12 years. Some players don't even have a 12-year careers. I mean, Kobe was a good defender for at least 12 of those seasons that he played out of the 20. Now let's get into his records, his accomplishments. Look, second most All-Star appearances ever with 18. Kareem is first with 19, if you wanted to know who was first. Tied for second most All-Defensive selections with 12, which is tied with Kevin Garnett. He's third on the all-time scoring list as of this recording. Obviously, LeBron is scheduled to pass him very soon. He's the third all-time leader. Third, period, in postseason scoring. Second most points in the game ever with 81. Oldest player ever to score 60 in a game. His final farewell game against the Jazz. He's tied for the most All-Star MVPs ever with Bob Pettit at 4 All-Star MVPs. He's the youngest player to ever be selected to an All-Defensive team in the year 2000. And he was the youngest slam dunk champion ever in NBA history. Now, let's start talking about his scoring prowess, because that's commonly and criminally underrated. 2-time scoring champion. He averaged at least 25 points per game for 9 consecutive seasons in a row from the year 05 till 2013. 3 times he averaged over 30 points per game. He averaged at least 20 points per game for 13 consecutive seasons. He has 122 games of at least 40 points, which is more than LeBron, Kareem, Shaq, Bird, Hakeem, and Duncan. He has 25 games of scoring at least 50 points, which is more than LeBron, Shaq, more than Kareem, more than Bird, more than Hakeem, and more than Duncan. And check this, 6 games of at least 60 points scored. Now that's more than MJ. Now MJ is the GOAT, but even MJ couldn't do that. LeBron didn't do it, Shaq didn't do it, Durant didn't do it, AI didn't do it. Kobe Bean Bryant has the record for most 60-point games in the modern era. Obviously, Wilt had more, but that's pretty much where that goes. Now, a lot of people say, oh, Kobe Bryant was a ball hog, he was a shot chucker. No. He recorded 6,306 assists in his career, which is more than Larry Bird, more than MJ, more than Duncan. He's the all-time leader in assists for shooting guards, unless you count Reggie Theus as a 2-guard, which I really don't. So, I don't understand where the notion is that he's a ball hog. Yes, there were a few times where he could have passed a little bit more, but he had a scrubby team. He had scrubby teammates. They weren't that good. Who was he supposed to pass to? Smush Parker? Okay, and as I already established earlier, throughout the heart of his career, he averaged more than 5 assists per game. Dwayne Wade didn't do that. How come no one else did that? Now, for the last part of the video, what I want to do is I want to talk about the greatness of Kobe Bryant. I want to paint the picture for you as to how great he was, because what I did earlier was just give you the accomplishments, the things he was able to achieve, but those are just numbers, those are just rewards. Let's talk about what he actually did, why he was so great. As a 21-year-old, he told MJ to his face, "You can't guard me." He told Shaq as a rookie, "I'm going to be the greatest player of all time." He learned footwork from Hakeem Olajuwon, swallowed his pride, and wanted to learn something. He won the 2010 NBA Finals and the MVP with a broken finger, but also a messed up ankle, something that not a lot of people knew about. He copied MJ's fadeaway perfectly, and in some ways actually improved it. He mimicked MJ so much, and he developed so many moves that MJ himself said in an interview, "I don't know if I could beat him one-on-one." Now, this is the greatest player ever. All right, he has some of the best post moves that we've ever seen. Nobody is a better shot maker. No one's a better tough shot maker than Kobe Bean Bryant, and especially not in the mid-range. Okay, in 2008, he took down the San Antonio Spurs with a terrible supporting cast. His second best player was Pau Gasol, and he only averaged 13 points per game. He took down the Spurs dynasty in 2008 with his second best player averaging 13 points per game. Where was LeBron at in 2007? Why couldn't he do something similar? So, yeah, and the thing is, Kobe is constantly slandered in the media today. He's constantly overlooked and underrated by people like Nick Wright or Shannon Sharp, people like that, who are trying to push these narratives out. Kobe Bryant only retired 3 years ago, and we are already pushing out these narratives, and we are already forgetting about this man. Where people are already saying, "Oh, James Harden's better than him." And these things are nonsense. Kobe Bryant, worst case scenario, is the second best Laker to have ever played, behind maybe Magic, and that's a maybe. And in my opinion, he's the fifth best player the game has ever seen. And this video is important to me because Kobe Bryant is the reason I got into basketball. Kobe Bryant is my second favorite player ever, and honestly, I miss him. And you know what? Hopefully, this sheds some light on him. Hopefully, you guys agree and you guys can see how good he is now. And if you haven't liked the video, go ahead and like it. Do that. Make sure you subscribe. And stay tuned for more content. I will talk to you guys soon. This is NBA Talk signing off. Peace.